Oh, righty Roo and Cuckoo Cuckoo to you and all my nobody's not watching out there. Uh, this game was like $5 or $7 or something. It's like one of those. It's not like one of the movie games. It's sort of similar. It's got real life actors, and I don't know the way I'm just looking at the thing. Like I'm sorry. It's been like 3 months of no games that I want to play because they aren't, the free games and stuff. And I'm just like, nah, man, that's lame. Um, Everything went exactly as I expected when the game pass thing shifted its whole strategy to be like, oh no, we've got tiers and we gotta do this and that. It's like there were already tiers. Nobody wanted this. You're just using it to force people to do things, you know, trying to obsolete the old games, get people to buy the new system because you can't even get a lot of the it's like, oh, every month there used to be 3 games that were free, sometimes more, sometimes 4, sometimes it was just 2, and a lot of times they weren't ones you would like. Now it's like, oh yeah, you're lucky if there's actually 3. Most of the time it's just 2 because one of them is not compliable with the older generations. Then you got the one that is maybe in no way a genre anybody wants. And then there's maybe one that some it's got some general context of people liking. Um, I have had a hard time finding any ones that I either haven't already gotten on sale or discount and enjoyed or tried or were already free or something. You know. So I got this one because it's something different and it's sort of let's help out a small creator, and it was on discount. So let's go with that. It's not free, but whatever. So it's called here. It'll explain itself. Kind of loud.
Welcome to Truth, the game show where we award a $1 million prize to the contestant chosen by our audience. We have 6 challengers hooked up to lie detectors, which I'll be monitoring. In every round, we ask each of them 5 questions chosen by our audience.
Your laptop's
then
not
we
plugged
vote
into
one
anything.
off based on their answers. Let's meet our contestants.
I doubt it's even on.
Why don't you each tell me a little about
I
yourself?
thought it's a real laptop.
I'm Joe.
Hey
I'm
Joe,
28, and I'm from Philly.
you look
Go
like
Eagles.
you're one of the bad guys
My name is Alexis, and
in
I'm born and raised in Beverly Hills.
a Stephen
My
King
name is
movie.
Sam. Hello. And I recently moved out here to Hollywood.
I'm pretty
to get
sure
in the
I've seen
film
you
industry,
in various
and, I've been writing a long time before I even
know,
got to town.
like,
and I've got a lot of
as
scripts.
a
I'm willing to show them. Hit
TV
me up.
actor. Usually, it's
And
somebody who
I'm
either
very
gets
excited to be on the show.
dieted, or is
I'm
a bad
Autumn.
guy.
I'm a California native.
I
and I grew up right here.
You 100% look
Angeles.
like you have played murder
Hi, I'm Claire.
suspects.
I've never been on TV before. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Aw, you also look
I go
like
by Lilith,
the same.
and I'm from Van Nuys, California.
You look like you're trying way too hard to be goth.
Let's see what the audience wants to ask first.
That you showed up and you're like, we need a goth. All right. Oh, I got a trophy urn. What fresh hell is this? Fun. That's nice. What? Do I have a timer? Do I have a pause? Nope, I can't. Anything. I guess I'll just have to see if sound is decent. What would you do with the money? What's your most embarrassing memory? What the fuck? That's just how you want to start. What's your most Man, this game's just like, let's just start with bad. Biggest regret. Tell me your biggest sin right now. I know you murdered that. Like, Joe, I know you were one of what was it? It wasn't the Lost Boys. That's a vampire movie. Completely unrelated to King. It's Stand By Me. I think it's Stand By Me. I think it was Stand By Me. I'm not sure it was Stephen King, but yeah, you got something to do with that shit. And I just want to be like, stay gold pony boy. You're not. You look like you sold out the Jets, and because you couldn't dance, that's what you look like. Sorry. I hope this man can actually dance, or it's just like, no, I'm not a dancer. Just look, I just showed up. They gave me the jacket. I'm a National Guardsman or some shit. I don't know. It kind of looks like one. But good for you. Thank you for your service, baby. I don't know. Man, we're just going to move on. What's the dumbest thing you ever did? That's probably what I'll go with. Your most embarrassing guilty pleasure. They're going to be like, I like to listen to, what is it? The Bloodhound Gang. You know? Don't judge me. What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend? Jesus, some of these are bad. They're so mean. What's your favorite holiday? What the? My favorite holiday? It's, Boxing Day. Doesn't even make sense. Like that's a thing, but that's the trolley problem? Actually, I kind of want to know that. I'll probably go with that. Have you ever cheated on anybody? Anyone? What's your most serious law you've ever broken? This guy's like, I stabbed like 3 people before I left middle school. What's your most unusual talent? He's like, I can touch my tongue to my nose. I'm really good at that game where you put your hand on the table and then stab between your fingers. Describe a typical day. It's like, so I get up and I have some toast and it's your most unusual pet peeve. I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it when people pronounce certain words the proper way that I don't like pronounced that way. Because I have never actually heard anyone say that word because I've barely read them. Like, particularly like names and stuff in like fantasy novels. It's like, no, some form of fiction. It's like, you don't hear that said out loud. You can't say it that way. What is your happiest memory? What's your proudest accomplishment? If you found a wallet, would you return it? It's like, yeah, the wallet. There you go. Just throws the wallet at the person who owns it. Somehow. What were you like as a child? What do you do for a living? What would you want to be stranded on an island with? A boat? Like a long range radio? If you could have any job, what would it be? I'm not gonna, yeah. What was your childhood dream? It was to be Pennywise the Clown's fucking stoolie. You know, just stab people with my little, you know. What's your biggest fear? Clowns. What would you give to your younger self? A single Bitcoin. I don't like the whole crypto thing, but like it was like I watched something where it was like, oh, this is only like 5 years old, and it's like crypto. It's this. It's like I looked at what it was worth then, and then what it was worth when it started, and then what it's worth now, and I'm like, look, that's not a standard for the industry, but you do have to say, I mean, that's pretty valid. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? He's like, to see through people's clothing. All right, so I got a number of things. Am I asking him or everyone? I'm gonna try to start positively. I mean, what you do with the money starts that, like, logically. Oh, can I ask? Wait. Do I? Okay, do I only get to ask one of these people? Well, you know what? We're gonna start here and see how it rolls from there. I'm gonna ask. I bet I can be like the trolley problem. You either get on or you don't. Like a trolley is like a bus on, with like the it's got like the thing above it, like in San Francisco. um, you know what? I'm just gonna see. What I'm gonna see just as a test. What's your most unusual talent? Now I want to know a typical day in the life of a guy who looks like this.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I wake up, I eat, I go to work, I come home, I eat, I watch TV, and then I go to bed.
You know what? I don't know what I expected. That seems actually super fair. I wonder if I can just keep asking the same question. Nope, looks like they moved it. I wonder if I could... like, this one I'm just trying to figure out what the game does and how it works. Because I didn't really get a lot of information, and I have, it looks like a little pie chart over there with 5 different spots, which I assume is for each of the people. Let's ask his most unusual talent.
What's your most unusual talent?
I could change my own oil. I could also fix a flat. You know, people used to know how to do that stuff. That was like common knowledge.
That's your unusual
nowadays,
talent?
No one knows how to do jack.
You want to be greaser, motherfucker?
Everyone's like relying on others.
What is your
and
job?
just people don't know how to do stuff. No one can do common guy stuff or girl stuff, whatever.
I like that he
I don't know.
tried.
Everyone's so sheltered.
I like that he at least followed up with that. He's just like, or girl stuff. Like, that's not inclusive enough, but, you know, at least he's like, or girl stuff. It's like, he does have a point. Most people can't do that. It's like, I don't want to do those things. You put a gun to my head, I could probably change my own oil if I had, depending on the vehicle, and I have before, I just wouldn't want to. I can definitely change a tire, given the proper implements. But why though? I can do a lot of that stuff. I just do not enjoy doing it, and I don't enjoy grease and pretty much anything on my hands that I don't like that. That's on me. You look as though you work as a mechanic or something. That's not an unusual talent, my guy. I guess that's maybe your point, but I was expecting you to be like, I don't know, I can, you know, I could hit a cut. I expected him to say something shit like, I can shoot a squirrel out of a tree with a BB gun or something. It's like, something like that. That's what I expected. It's like, that's an unusual talent. That's not normal. It's also a psychotic thing to do, but let's see about your pet peeves. Let's just keep, okay, so I get 5 questions. I just want to ask the same guy stuff.
What's your most unusual?
What is it?
I can't stand it when people are FaceTiming or like on speakerphone around me, like as if I'm not there, stomping around with their big loud conversation.
That's
like
not
you're holding me hostage
unusual
to
either.
your conversation. I don't give a shit. Go somewhere else. What happened to, phones that you had to hold up to your ear so I didn't have to listen to you? That shit drives me crazy.
It's not an unusual pet peeve. Also, you don't seem like the type of person that would just sit there You seem like the type of person that would just pretend to be having a worse conversation that makes theirs very uncomfortable. And what are they going to do to you? You kind of look threatening in the sense that you would just look at them and be like, what are you going to do? Like, they could call the cops and you'd just be like, I don't know, I guess I'll just get out of the elevator or go away or something. What were you like as a child? It's like, you know, I walked down a lot of train tracks, threw a bunch of kids off of, you know, into the rock quarry, you know, that sort of thing. Cut a bunch of people. Talked to a clown, that sort of thing.
What were you like as a child?
He seems so great when he
I
says
was
that.
just like every other kid.
Were you?
Played with toys. I watched cartoons. And what else would you expect me to say to that?
Yeah, you sound like you're on the stand and, not like Stephen King, The Stand, although you do look like a character that could be there. You sound like you're like, sir, I'll remind you you were under oath. What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living?
I work at a distribution center where I drive a forklift.
Forklift certified!
Pretty decent, and I get good overtime.
Alright. That's the most believable thing you've said, though, thus far. How about if you could have any job? Okay, so I filled up the pie chart. Okay, well. Oh! Maybe I get to ask everybody 5 questions? I don't know. Let's just be really mean to her. No, I don't. You know what? Sorry, we were real easy on him. Sorry, Alexis from Cali native. Let's just ask you the most uncomfortable things ever. I don't think it matters which, you know, when I ask you. Let's just try to break you down as a person.
What is your biggest fear?
Getting a pimple. I've known people who have
Wow.
had one and they say it's awful. That's why I do a strict regimen of cleansing, toning, and moisturizing to make sure I don't get one. I heard it can happen to anyone.
Anyone, anytime. The horror. The horror. Okay, well. That said a lot. Let's try to make this worse. Let's go with a trolley problem. No, I don't want to say that for somebody else. I want to be like, let's just really make it unpleasant now. I'm gonna make this unpleasant for you. It seems harder. What's your biggest regret? How about that?
What is your biggest regret?
Not getting into yoga sooner.
I once turned down a modeling job because I would have had to go to Milan for 4 weeks. I was in high school at the time, so I might have had to repeat a year. In hindsight, it was a very famous photographer, so it would have helped my modeling career. I should have gone.
I doubt you would have gone back to high school. You would have just continued on there. I see. That's actually kind of, I don't know, like 4 weeks, like a month. You probably would have been. I don't really know about the modeling world and all that. I don't know. That's okay. All right. You probably should have done the thing, and I see how that could be your biggest regret, but you probably made pretty well on it. But that really probably did actually alter the course of your life in the sense that, I mean, for all I know, you could be you're like, oh, actually, you know, high school was just a stepping stone for me to, you know, go to MIT, and I'm working on, you know, advanced robotics right now. Like, this isn't even my real arm. Like, you know, or something like that. I don't know.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
Hit the hard questions for her.
I sorta stole someone's boyfriend once.
Once.
Well, it wasn't her boyfriend. My friend Brooke had a really big crush on this musician, and I told her to DM him, but she was too nervous to, so I DM'd him
And then
for her.
you.
He wasn't interested in her, so he ended up asking me out, and we dated for a bit. I can tell it made my friend a little uncomfortable, so that was one of the reasons why I broke up with him.
I can't tell if you're terrible or just really good at being terrible. Or, like, honestly, you're not as bad as you seem. Let's see the trolley problem.
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people ahead of you on the tracks who do not have time to get off the tracks. If you continue forward, you will run over all 5 and they will die.
They have no time to get off.
You cannot stop the trolley, but you
It's
can
like
change
2
to an
feet.
alternate track where there is only 1 person on it. If you choose to change tracks,
I've
the
always
5 people on the first track will live,
I had a problem
but
with
the
this
1 person
very
on the
concept.
alternate track will be run over and die.
It's like
Do you change tracks?
somebody gonna die.
I don't know anything about trolleys, but if I had a job driving one, I'm sure that they would teach me how to handle that situation in trolley school.
I'll take that. You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. That's a valid fucking answer. I'm playing this game because I was hoping it'd be like Phoenix Wright. Like, you know, like they have the over-the-top characters like, objection! And then they just like freak out and you're like, why are all these people just lunatics? Whether they did the crime or not, you guys are just insane. Like, I love it. That's what I was hoping for. So far, these people are pretty normal. Maybe it's just round 1, but what can I? This is the law.
What's the most serious law you
Try to give her hard-hitting questions, and she's just like, what?
I used to have steaks flown in from this place that I love in France.
Mhm.
I stopped when I found out it was illegal to import meats. I don't know how serious of a crime that is, but I'm glad I never found out the hard way.
I can't tell if she's actually like some like femme fatale level good at being like innocent, because her body language and shit sort of says that she's like, that's like a legitimate, like, what I'm seeing is that is definitely something that she did in her life, because who the fuck comes up with that kind of fucking weird ass lie? That's like a lie that you would be like, oh yeah, somebody else I knew did this. It's like, motherfucker, I fucking used to run, you know, I used to mule some fucking Bolivian marching powder and you know, magnums, you know, on fucking, you know, vacay. That was just, you know, it's always spring break. It's always spring break at Tijuana or some shit. I don't fucking know. Her body language says that she's pretty good at, she seems innocent, even if I don't want to believe it. But I'm gonna end this just to see what my you know, all this is like, even if this is usable.